Hey guys, welcome back to Making Frugal Fun. I'm Shannon and I share our family's debt-free journey to pay off over $500,000 of debt and all the frugal things we do along the way to get there faster. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Every month I like to try to do a budget motivation video, and so last year every month I was doing like specific things to budget for each month. So I'll link February's budget buster video below if you want to go back and see that, like for specific things you should watch out for in February. I also have a free download that has budget busters for every single month of the year that you can add to your budget binder, and I'm going to link that below too. It's really great for just jarring your memory whenever you're sitting down to create your budget and plan ahead so that you don't forget anything that might be coming up, any holidays or seasonal things like pool cleaning in the summer or anything like that. So make sure you grab that so you can stick to your budget this year. So for this month's budget motivation video, I specifically want to talk to you guys about how to create a budget and how to stick to it once you have it. So getting started seems to be one of the things that people struggle with the most when I ask, like, what do you really need help with budgeting? And it seems like just getting started. And I agree. It's really hard to just get going. Once you get going, you get in a rhythm. You are used to that lifestyle of cutting your expenses, paying off debt every month. So it's definitely hard to get into it though. So I want to share with you some tips today that really helped me when I was just getting started and really trying to stay motivated and stick to that budget. Before we jump in, I just wanted to do a quick debt-free journey update. Nothing much has changed. We're still pausing because we're house hunting. So we're planning to buy a house very, very soon. We paid off all our personal debt. We have a business debt left. So we kind of are doing things out of order from Dave Ramsey's baby steps, because he would probably say, finish paying off the business debt before you buy a home. And so as soon as we get moved into our new house, we will restart tackling the rest of the business debt, and then we'll be trying to pay off our house too. That'll be a big goal as well. So that's my quick debt-free journey update. And also, if you missed it in my last video, I am 19 weeks pregnant this week with baby number 4. And I'm really excited because we have our big ultrasound tomorrow. Actually, it'll be today when you're watching this video. Don't know for sure if we're going to find out the gender or not of the baby. So fun fact, for baby number 1 and 3, we waited to be surprised at the birth, and they were both boys. And then our second baby, number 2, we did like a little cake just with our close family, and that was a girl. So we have boy, girl, boy. We'll see if the pattern continues. Will it be another girl? I don't know. We have a lot of boys in our family, like everyone is a boy. So we'll see, but I'll be happy either way. We're just crossing our fingers for a healthy baby. I'll let you guys know what we decided to do in my next update video. So let's jump into some budget motivation. If you're just getting started, if you're on your journey and you're struggling, you're having a hard time staying motivated and sticking to your budget, these tips are for you. The first thing that I really recommend, you're getting started with a budget, trying to make things work, you're behind on your bills, the absolute best thing you can do is just pause all of your spending and do like a no-spend month or 3 months. When we started our debt-free journey, we were definitely behind. It felt like chaos. And so when we just sat down and we were like, let's just not spend a single dime, like on anything except for what we have to, like bills. All of a sudden, like that alone felt really calm, because you're looking at the bank account, you're not seeing just like little things coming, $5 here, $10 there, $25 at a fast food restaurant, or a shirt, from Old Navy or something like that. Just little things. I mean, even dollar store visits. Once we were able to pause our spending, we realized like, okay, maybe it's not as bad as it felt like, because now we can see, okay, we need X amount of money just to get by on our actual bills. And that gives you a more tangible starting number instead of just what you think you're spending every month. Oh my gosh, like I need tens of thousands of dollars just to live. So once you pause your miscellaneous spending, you get a more realistic picture of what you need to survive. My second tip for creating a budget that is going to stick is to accept reality. If you're just getting started with budgeting, you might be like really gung-ho and think you're gonna cut your grocery budget by, 80% in the first month. And it's just really hard to go from spending willy-nilly to all of a sudden reducing your expenses and watching everything and planning everything. It's hard. So you can kind of set yourself up for disappointment if you aren't realistic with yourself. So maybe reduce the budget by 20%, or instead of eating out 4 nights a week, now we're gonna just go down to 1 night a week. And then it's not like everything got stripped away from you instantly and you're feeling like deprived of everything and like it's just so hard. Also, accepting reality based on what you make versus how much debt you have. So you can only cut your expenses so far until an income increase is going to be necessary. So if you make $50,000 a year and you have $200,000 of debt, it's going to feel like impossible to tackle that, because so sometimes accepting I'm gonna need a second job or a job change or a side hustle, or my spouse needs a side hustle or a better job or a second job or something like that. Sometimes it takes accepting that reality and that truth before you can really get your budget working for you like it should. My third tip to create and stick to a budget is to have a strong conviction on why you want to do this. So for us, like, we reached a rock bottom point of desperation to where we needed to do something drastic. Like, things weren't getting better, like we had to do something. And so the desperation at first is kind of what drove us, and then it turned into, wow, I can see how our children's lives are going to be changed because they won't need to take out student loans for school if we do this plan. And I can see how if we keep budgeting and working hard, we could have a paid for house in a few years and then be able to invest and give all this extra money that would have been going towards a mortgage or a rent or debt or student loan payments. So now that's what drives me, is what good could we do for the world if we had all this extra money, because we're not giving it away to debt and interest and all these things. My next tip is to get hopeful. This is kind of goes along with the why, but having hope, like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, very, very helpful in getting you motivated, instead of living in that like depressed state where you just don't see how it's gonna happen. You're really feeling down on yourself. You're looking at your past mistakes thinking, why did I do this? Like, why did we go into so much debt here? One of my favorite Bible verses, Proverbs 13:12, says that hope deferred makes the heart sick. If you don't have hope, you lose something. You go into kind of a depression, and this could be about anything, but especially financial goals. Once you can see like even the inkling of hope, like, oh my gosh, if we do this, we can have extra money in our budget every month. We can afford to pay our rent and not flip out every month. We can buy the eggs at the grocery store, even though they're, $12 for like 8 eggs or whatever. Once you start to see even like a little bit of progress, you get hope. And hope is so important on your budgeting and debt-free journey. My next tip is a more practical tip, and that is to pay cash or debit whenever you can. So I know a lot of people use credit cards for the points, or they use that even though they pay it off at the end of the month. But if you're struggling with your budget, having less to manage, less things coming in and out of your account and having to pay and organize, can be really helpful in the beginning. In the very start of our debt-free journey, we actually took the cash out to do groceries and things like that. Now that we're better at budgeting, we just use our debit card and pay for the groceries, and we have that line item in our budget. But in the beginning, taking out physical cash and saying, this is what we have right now for this area of our budget and for the kids' miscellaneous school projects and book fairs and stuff like that, or this is what we have for the kids' school clothes, and seeing it laid out in cash was so helpful, and it really helped us manage our budget, because we would just withdraw money at the beginning of the month and put it in our cash envelopes, and we were ready to go. We didn't have to worry about overdrawing the account or are we overspending in this area, because we could physically see the cash. And you can't spend what you don't have. If you have a credit card, even though you're paying it off every month, you can spend more. You can be tempted to spend more because you know it's on there. Like, oh, well, my credit limit's X, Y, and Z, so it's okay, I can just spend a little extra. Spending that little extra here and there adds up really fast. So when you're using cash or even a debit card, you can only spend what you have to spend in your bank account. You can't accidentally overspend or you're gonna overdraw your account. Tip number 6 is to plan ahead. Have a planning meeting. I try to do these budget motivation videos once a month to remind you, hey, it's time to budget. Here's some things you can do to make it easier, to make it better. Grab my Budget Buster free printable that I have linked below, and that's gonna just help you get started with some things to plan for every month. Look and see, is someone's birthday this month? Do we have friends' birthdays that we're gonna get invited to? Anything you can plan for, absolutely do it, because it's gonna make your budget, because most things cost money. So if you can look at what's coming up, what activities, what sports fees are due for baseball season, etc. Do the kids need new cleats? Because everyone grew out of their cleats from last season. These things are so important. If you plan ahead, you're gonna have a lot less surprises and therefore less busted budgets. And on that note of planning ahead, also plan to have some blow money or fun, we call it fun money, so you don't feel restricted and you don't feel like, oh, I can't do anything fun. If you actually plan your fun money, so like it's kind of like an allowance or something, but we do like the kids have fun money, I have fun money, and my husband has fun money, and we have a set amount every month that you get. And so if I'm like, man, I really want this jacket, it's so cute, but I know I'm gonna have more fun money next month, so I'll just wait and I'll get it next month or next time it goes on sale. And it just helps prevent those impulse purchases because you have your set amount of fun money every month. And also you can plan ahead, and it can be like your own little mini savings account too if you are saving up to buy shoes or boots or like a cute purse or something like that. You probably knew I was gonna say this, but one of the most important things to your budget is your food budget, and therefore meal planning and grocery shopping online. Before you can go into the store, but doing your list online first so you can see the amount and have a better idea of exactly what you're going to be spending before you even go into the store. This is so key to keeping that grocery budget low, especially right now with inflation and grocery prices and all that stuff. Planning out your meals for the month, eating at home more, it works. You don't worry about what you're making for dinner that night because you have everything planned out for the month. And also put a link to my frugal meal planner, my other meal planners below. So if you struggle with that, I have some meal plans, or everything's already planned out for you with the grocery list and everything ready to go. Okay, my next tip, I don't know if people do this or don't do this, but checking your budget every single day, or your bank account every single day, to make sure that you're on track. I use the Dave Ramsey Every Dollar app, so everything pulls in from my bank account. And so like every morning I get excited to go in and like categorize everything. Checking your budget every day might seem tedious or annoying. It only takes me like 2 minutes, and it can help you stop out of control spending before it gets too far and find problems before they get way out of hand. And last but not least, don't feel guilty about saying no. This is gonna help you stick to your budget. It's really hard to say no, especially when you have kids and they want money for whatever activity they want to do. All their friends are doing it. It is also a really good teaching moment. Our kids, even though they're 9, like my 9 and 7-year-old, they know what we're doing. They know we took out these student loans, we had this debt, we moved to a smaller house so we could save more money, so we could pay off debt. And now look what we're doing. Because we did this, we're going to be moving into like our dream house, etc., etc. So showing them, yeah, we made mistakes, and now because we're saying no to these things, we're going to pay off all of this debt, and we're going to have all of these things in the future, and you guys will have money for college in the future and things like that. So kind of showing your kids, kind of showing your kids the process and what debt is, like using it as a teaching moment, I think has been really beneficial, because my kids definitely understand like what's going on, and they're excited to see the debt thermometer get filled in, and they're excited that we're going to be moving soon, and they really have benefited from all the things that we've had to say no to. And it felt hard at the time, but you know, delaying that instant gratification that we're also accustomed to in today's culture is really important to achieving your family financial goals. I really hope these 10 tips help you to stay motivated in this coming month. If you haven't started budgeting, you have no idea where to start, you're just struggling with the whole idea, check out some of my other helpful videos. I will link in the description box below. Make sure you grab my monthly Budget Busters printable. That's gonna help you with your planning. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our journey or any debt payoff motivation, meal planning tips along the way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.